before the non-Steph minutes.
Steph, deep three. Steph's getting the tee because he thought he was fouled on the three.
He doesn't get them. He never gets them. I think he just...
Several days later.
Gonna win out.
I tell you, Reggie Jackson is being bottled up. It's a 2-on-1. Drop it to Curry, and he is just crushed out of bounds. And now he's going to get a tee. He wanted to foul.
You can't just pick and choose which one's to call. There's definitely contact there.
This lineup, it's Wick. And maybe some second shots. Curry again.
The NBA has done it again, folks. As you saw in the previous clips, the refs have screwed and are continuously screwing Steph Curry by swallowing their whistles. Every time a defender clearly tackles him NFL style, like, I really don't get it. I mean, let's go back and review the first play. So here's Steph crossing the half court. Then, after taking one dribble, he launches a parking lot three, while Austin Rivers clearly lunges at him, slipping his right foot in and not giving Steph enough space to land safely. The ref at the bottom of the screen was near where the incident happened and was on top of that play. But see, he just stood there as if he saw nothing. Well, on second thought, I actually gave the blind ref a benefit of the doubt on this. I mean, in my head, I was like, maybe Steph flopped a bit, or the contact was not enough to be considered a foul. But a part of me was like, I smell something fishy going around here. So, to get to the bottom of this, my Sherlock Holmes instinct kicked in. I did an in-depth research, and the results that I found just made my jaw drop all the way to the floor.
Of a defensive foul for moving into the landing space of an airborne shooter. Daniel, the defensive player who challenges the jump shot, left foot into the landing area of the shooter, Tim Hardaway Jr., causing him to roll his right ankle and fall to the floor. Defenders must give airborne shooters the opportunity to land safely.
I mean, the clip that you just saw right there didn't come from Reddit or any run-of-the-mill unreliable basketball sites. That video explainer actually came from NBA.com under the NBA video rulebook section. Like, Daniel Hauser Jr. clearly did the same thing what Austin Rivers did, frame by frame. And official sources have already clarified and confirmed, bright as day, that
defenders must give airborne shooters the opportunity to land safely.
Such an act is deemed as a personal foul against the defender and maybe even upgraded to a flagrant foul to some extent due to the dangerous nature of the play. I mean, let's try to wrap our heads around this real quick. So, if the official NBA rulebook says that kind of play is a 100% foul, and on the other hand, the official NBA referee who saw that kind of play happening in front of his very eyes didn't blow his whistle, then what does it say about the integrity of the officiating in the league? I could possibly give the refs a pass if this was an isolated incident, but see, this has happened on multiple occasions, for the longest time already, specifically targeting Steph Curry alone.
People land on him, and it's not by accident.
Comes up short, offensive rebound, Curry again, and Curry! Understand, you had to foul him on the first shot.
And see, the rabbit hole goes deeper than this as far as the non-calls to Steph are concerned, because apart from totally turning a blind eye, when Steph gets involved in a landing spot incident, the refs are also eating up their whistles whenever he attacks inside the shaded lane. Cause if you just take a look at the ratio of his field goal attempts to the amount of the shots given to him on the charity stripe, you would definitely shake your head and say, that's weird. I mean, here's the top 20 list of players this season, sorted out in terms of the number of field goals that they've attempted. And as you can see, Steph is right there, squeezed tight in 7th spot, along with some of the premier shot makers of today, like SGA, Luka, De'Aaron Fox, and Anthony Edwards. But see, if you go to the opposing column and sort it out in terms of free throws attempts, you'll find some familiar names at top, which makes sense because they're also the same guys from the previous column, like Luka, SGA. But see, even if you squint your eye and zoom it into a microscopic level, you wouldn't find Steph's name in top 10, top 15, not even in the top 20, because the guy who shoots almost 20 shots a ball game is only rewarded with 5 free throw attempts by the refs at the end of the day. I mean, some of you guys might think that the reason behind this is that Steph loves to hang around from beyond the arc, and he's not as aggressive in terms of attacking inside compared to the other names on that list. But see, while you can make a strong case about top 3 guys in this list like Giannis, Luka, and SGA, since they're basically making a living inside the paint, I still can't believe that the next 3 players who come after them have been rewarded more free throw attempts than the baby-faced assassin. I mean, Trae Young is at number 4. Like, this dude is basically a rip-off version of Steph. From his play style, his handles, the way he shoots long threes and floaters, everything that he does. He basically copied them from Steph, one way or another. Now, if this is the case, how come he shoots more free throws than him? Not to mention that he's also 3 to 4 inches shorter than Steph, which means that he has a higher chance of getting blocked instead of getting fouled when he attacks the rim. Anyway, the same argument can also be made against the next guy that comes after him, which happens to be Damian Lillard. I mean, we can agree with the fact that both Dame and Steph are kinda cut from the same cloth with the way they mix things up offensively, as both players can make buckets from inside and out. But again, why is the free throw attempt disparity so lopsided on this one? And lastly, let's talk about DeMar DeRozan. The guy has literally cemented himself as one of the best to ever do it from the mid-range. Like, everyone knows that he would prefer to take a 15-foot jumper than to attack all the way inside. So again, the math just doesn't add up as to why the mid-range maestro shot way more free throw attempts than the chef this season. Now, what's even more concerning about this Steph Curry situation we have on our hands is that he's not only receiving less and less foul calls as each game goes by, but the refs have actually devised a new scheme to take points away from him. So just like in the opening clip against Austin Rivers, Steph crosses the midcourt, but this time he puts on the sauce against Jaden Springer. Then he slammed the brakes, pulls back, and splashes it home while Springer springs onto him and knocking him down. The play was SportsCenter worthy. However, the 76ers didn't think so, and so they challenged the call. And when it was decision time, the refs went back to their old ways and came down with this conclusion.
After review, Springer legally contests the shot and makes legal contact once the ball is released to the hand. Curry then overtly extends his right leg, trips Springer to the floor. The play has been overturned to an offensive foul, and the challenge is successful.
The refs were so excited in punishing Steph on that game that it only took them around 9 minutes in the first quarter to do the hit job. Like, they want to flex their officiating powers to Steph so badly that they just casually pulled it off on a regular play as if no one will notice. I mean, throughout all this, I really don't understand why Steph doesn't get the so-called superstar treatment. And I think we can all agree that he should have earned this a long time ago already. No questions asked. The man has single-handedly revolutionized the game from the three-point line, dominated the past decade by winning 4 championships and back-to-back MVPs. And even up to now, he's still one of the best players in the NBA, performing at the highest level at age 35. But despite being the face of the league, the NBA still doesn't give Steph his much-deserved flowers in year 15. I know this is crazy talk, but this is the cold, hard truth, folks. Like, reflecting back on that supposed 4-point play, I still can't remember a time when a megastar in the league, whether it's in the past or today, had a call overturned against his favor. I mean, even if you take a look at every single time Kobe or MJ stuck their foot a bit when they're doing jump shots or pulling fadeaways, I bet 100% that you wouldn't find any evidence that the refs have reviewed and reversed a call, if there's any going the other way. And let me not start talking about LeBron and how he's been getting more calls than Steph. But if you want to see concrete evidence, I'll just let these 2 next clips do the talking.
Dribble alive. Now fakes, goes inside, layup, shot is good. James puts it on the floor, drives inside, layup is up. Foul!
Anyway, what's your take on this whole Steph rigging situation? Why do you think the NBA is screwing Steph time and time again? Are they planning something evil against him? And what do you think is the real reason behind this? Let me know your answers on this by putting your comments below. And until then, see you on the next video.